So today, now we're going to talk about how Gen Z will write new rules for home buying. I feel like they're already doing it.
Yeah.
Now, this is from Cotality. Now, I am announcing today on the show that CoreLogic has a brand new name. It's Cotality. I wish Will was here so he could make fun of me. You can do double the making fun of me because I promised you guys I'd only pull one article from CoreLogic per quarter.
I'm like, Andy, you could change the name. It's still the same
Hey,
thing.
I shouldn't have told you. Hey, I probably shouldn't have told you it was CoreLogic.
No,
right?
we would have been like, oh, this one's new. What's this?
And this week, also from Cotality.
And Andy, you're like this.
Just a graphs and charts show. No, so I guess CoreLogic is Cotality now. I don't know the backstory. It's not important for what we got to talk about.
It's better
but
for branding purposes. Cotality sounds nicer.
Okay, fine. Whatever.
Like CoreLogic's like, ooh, Cotality? Okay, I can get behind Cotality.
I guess it sounds less nerdy. I don't know that I help it at all.
And the connotation on that is a lot more pleasing.
All right. Well, we're talking about Gen Z. So, Brian, this directly is going to be mostly you pulling the weight here. Look, Gen Z, we already know. And millennials, they're being forced to look at like alternative ways to buy a house. They're looking at creative strategies to doing house hacking. And they are, let's say, I don't want to say they're more fiscally savvy. I want to say that they're actually becoming more fiscally savvy early in the process, but by digital means where they're absorbing like hungry hippos, like, ooh, learn that, take that, share this, eat this up, and then consume all this information and then take positive steps in the right direction. And that is different than seeking the advisor first, and the advisor shares all that with you,
So,
like some of us old guys used to do.
So I agree 100%. And just in the 8 years that I've been in the industry, the conversations I have with younger buyers have changed drastically. Before, it used to be that, yes, we would sit there and let them know everything, and they'd look at us like, what is this person saying? Now it's completely changed. They come with question after question after question after this and that and this, and I always ask, where did you find that out? That's a very good question. TikTok, social media, Instagram. My buddy did this. I have friends that are doing this out of state. So the resources and the ability to tap into these resources has dynamically changed for everybody now. But these millennials, these Gen Zers see that as opportunities. And generations before didn't have all these outs. Now we have outs and ins and different ways to be able to buy real estate, invest, or even just live.
So I feel like one of the cultural behavior, I don't know if it's cultural behavior or both, but one of the changes has been, it used to be like, hey, there's a bunch of stuff I don't know about. Tell me about it, and then I can do the next thing.
Yes.
Now they're coming in and going, hey, I know about it. Help me do the next thing.
Yes.
Right, like right away. Like help me get to the thing, because now I know I need you, not in a gatekeeper way, but it's
no.
I can't go do this on my own.
Yes.
So now I need you, but I already know all this stuff. So broadly, I think, and we even have to go upstream one more step from that. The reason they come prepared like that is because they put in their own work, but they're putting in their own work because the information is out there. It's people that are doing shows. It's young guys like you that are doing information Q&As, and you're sharing case studies on TikTok and Instagram and even on YouTube. And it's like that, because that information is available, that like hunger and that appetite for learning is being sought after by the internet first and most. So they're going there to get the most amount of information, and they're getting it first before they even come to you.
I agree I agree with that 100%. And they see it so many times that it almost becomes easy to do. It's easy to take action.
Familiar at that point.
Right? Where I feel like before there was so much gatekeepers, there was so much naysayers that before you even had the idea and wanted to pull the trigger, you already had all this negativity and people bringing you down why it's not going to work. Now you can go and ask your family for feedback. They say no. You could go to social media and find 1,000 people that did it, or doing it, or are saying why you should do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's actually going to be an advantage, because the amount of information that's available now is just like so plentiful that it really does just become choice at that point. And not that the amount. Sorry, I should rephrase that. It's not that there's more information now than there was before. It's that the accessibility to the information and the volume of the acquisition of the information because of digital media has kind of scaled it. So it's like it's all the same kind of stuff. There are some things that change in mortgage and real estate. It's mostly
innovation stuff,
evidenced in technological innovation, but also buyer and buy and hold behavior that's changed too. Like the whole house hacking part and renting rooms, or buying a duplex and renting out living in one and renting out the other one. Like, yeah, people have done that forever, but the speed and the multiplication at which people are trying to do that now at a younger age, they're more apropos to it. They're more interested in it. They're ready for that because like, oh, I'm seeking cash flow options, not just a place to rest my head at night.
Yeah, and and I appreciate that. When I talk to clients that have good questions, have their Rolodex of concerns, and they're prepared with the information that they want answers on. That keeps us on our industry honest, Andy, because a lot of people that aren't constantly relearning new techniques or updating their way of doing things, implementing new strategies, they're going to keep feeding the same old things that, maybe in the past worked, but now somebody could say, hey, that doesn't apply. I read this, and that, and now you're not connecting with a potential client that you can help out.
Yeah, it's being solution focused, I think,
100%.
but being tenacious about it. Like there's a certain and I chose tenacious versus aggressive because it's not being aggressive about it. Being belligerent, but it's like being tenacious. Like I'm in hot pursuit of the thing. And even if I have to change or modify or adapt a little bit to have it, I will. I'll bring a roommate in. I'll figure out the affordability problem. I can get a second part-time job, or I can, work at night or whatever to make ends meet. I'll work on my credit. I'll save some money. I'll do some sort of creative financing. I think the willingness, I think, is what I'm saying is representative as a common denominator across Gen Z and millennials too.
100%. And I think that, it just goes to show that, nowadays there's so many other ways to skin the cat in sense of like, okay, I'm going to take this big payment on. I have one job. That might not cut it, but I have, I could start this little side hustle. I could work on this on the weekends. I could take on different things that is going to help me kind of bridge the difference, but then also have other people that think similar and can also join the, that same ship with you. But in contrary, I think before you didn't have that much accessibility to be able to work 2-3 jobs because it was more of a nuclear family that, hey, one of them was at the bread earner. They're out, bringing in the money for the family, where the other one's nurturing the family and the home. But nowadays, we see that it's almost like it's intertwined. Everything's worked together. You don't have that same way of living like we did before. Therefore, it opens so much more opportunities and accessibility for you to be able to live in a creative way or in a different way that other people did before.
Yeah, and at this point, I especially when it comes to the affordability problem matched with the willingness to try to work it out or figure it out some way to get across the finish line, it's almost becoming so much more of a wide trend that it's almost, maybe this will be true later. This might be premature for me to say this, but it might almost be what they're marked by. Like, oh, this generation is this way, and this generation is that way. Like, I can honestly see in the future, people look back and go, yeah, Gen Z, they were marked like figuring it out no matter what it had to look like.
It's like the baby boomers. They just baby boomed.
Right. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So, and I don't want to conflate it and make too much out of it, but it would not surprise me if 5, 10, 15 years down the road, when now you're old too, then we go back and go, shoot, yeah, they really just were tenacious about it, and they were not willing to just accept the normal route to get to the end.
And we look back and say, remember when that trend started?
Yeah.
And then now 100%. It's the way of doing it.
Yeah, because
it's a norm.
Because, again, being honest about the situation at hand, they're all in the same boat, bro. Like, unless there's the outliers that are making the 6 figures right out of college, or they're making it right out of high school, or they're doing something that's unique, that's affording them the ability to buy on their own, most are in the same boat where you got to tie rafts and you got to figure out a way to collectively get the thing done versus just doing it on your own as the ways of the past used to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think affordability is a driver of all, or lack of affordability is a big driver there, but the ingenuity and the creative, I think, is really
definitely.
You know what's funny, and I haven't thought about him in a long time, but remember Jason? I won't say his last name. Remember Jason? He's one of our VA clients, and he sold sneakers.
Oh yeah. I just spoke to him not too long ago.
Dude,
shout out Jason.
Yeah. Okay. So
Congrats, bro.
Jason, we see you, man. We see you.
No, definitely. Like, he is a prime example of
that's
what we just kind of explained.
That's what I'm saying. He's the thing. He's like, yeah, I have this primary thing, but I love sneakers.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy and sell sneakers. And he's like bought and sold sneakers up the chain. And now it's
an actual business. And bought multiple houses, exited, and all while staying in,
that's what I'm talking about.
A solid job. Still, all doing it 9 to 5, basically.
I just thought about that right now.
Big shout out to Jason. If you're listening to this, shoot me a message, bro. We appreciate you. You know who you are.
Jason, you gotta DM us, man, or shoot us a text, man. We miss seeing you and talking to you around here. But
would be nice
he's a great example,
and bring him in and share their story, because that's someone that's actually doing it, and it's literally like
let's do it.
Image.
Even if we have to get Jason by Zoom, let's commit to have him talk about that. I mean, it's just right at the epicenter of this whole topic.
And talk about him and his wife as well doing that together. I mean, there's just so much to unpack, Jason.
and so that even in itself, I'm saying it's kind of the example that's being described in the article is they're working together to make it work, but in their case, he actually is kind of that and the outlier.
Yeah.
It was him and his wife, and it wasn't a bunch of other people in their friend group that were stitching it together. It was like the two of them were able to do that. That means the two of you are going to be able to do that too. And if you have to go dip in to get the friend group or family group as well, fine, so be it. But that's a great example right out the gate.
Big kudos to him sticking through it and honestly following the vision. I mean, props to you, man. It's paying off.